Okay, hi. So this is large application practicum. So like I said, I will create offline videos and upload them on YouTube. You can have a look at them whenever you want. So the first assignment was on shell scripts. I've already uploaded the assignment, and some of you must have already completed it. So here, of course, I'm assuming that we are all working in Linux environment. Okay, and if you're using Windows, you can use some simulator to uh, run the Linux environment or some virtual machine, whatever. So the question is now, why do you want to use shell scripts? Well, shell scripts gives you flexibility to uh, achieve some things with a computer. For example, if you want to, let's say, sort some numbers, okay. So there are multiple ways to sort numbers using computer. You can use some ready-made software like OpenOffice or some spreadsheet software, where you can load the numbers and use its functionality to sort them. The other option is to write your own C program to sort these numbers. You can use some sorting algorithm, and with your own C program, you can sort the numbers. The other option, which is available in environments like Unix, is that Unix has lots of built-in tools which let you do a lot of things. And Unix likes text files. Okay, almost every file in Unix is a text file. You don't have binary files except for the programs themselves, but all configurations are done using text files. So the input data is also expected to be in text format, that is plain ASCII text, and all Unix tools work on ASCII text files. So like I said, these built-in tools allow you to achieve a lot of things without resorting to writing your own program or using external software like spreadsheets. Okay, but of course their functionality is limited. But in many cases, you will find that a lot of things can be achieved just by using the Unix tools. So Unix tools are the tools which I mentioned in the assignment. Like, for example, sort utilities for sorting numbers, unique utilities to uh, pick up, remove repetitions in a sorted list of numbers or in a sorted list of entries. There are so many tools. Okay, and it's so you will become familiar with them if you use Unix more and more, and there is no need for you to learn everything by heart. There is always Google to help you out. Okay. Yeah, so why do we need a shell script? A shell script gives you a framework to automate actions with Unix tools. Not just necessarily restricted to Unix tools, but with anything. I mean, like, it gives you a framework to automate. Okay, and many things can be achieved more far quickly with a shell script than with a more complicated program, because provided the shell script is using some built-in tool which is already efficient by itself. Okay, so I will share my terminal screen so that you can see my terminal. Can you? Yeah, I think you can see my terminal here, right? So this is, I've got some demos here, which I will show you. So these are some scripts which I've written some time back. So let's see a simple script. So shell scripts, okay, before we begin, so shell script usually end with an extension sh, okay, so this copy.sh. So now I've done ls minus l, so this gives me the directory listing in the long format. L is long format, and of course you can always, if you have any doubt, there's man to help you, right? Ls minus l, it will tell you L is a long listing format, right? So now let's see this copy script. So basically, there are variables which are defined in, out, prefix. So these are some directories. Okay, I've given some comments also, so by which you can read the script. There's a for loop. So what do you think this script is doing? Okay, please. So basically, it does something inside a loop. What is it? What are the elements of the loop? In $in there. So this will give you whatever is there in this directory, the in directory, And then this is the body of the loop, and then inside this, these backticks here, no, this tick and this tick here are backticks which will execute a command. So it is there in the assignment. And so essentially what it will do is this baseline is a base name is a Unix command, man base name, which will strip the directory and suffix from file names. For example, I show so now I have this. So now if I do ls $pwd, I'm going to give you my ls $pwd. So this is giving me my this particular file adapt UBM. It is giving me my full. It is giving me the full name, the absolute path of that. Then I think what does base name do? What is the usage? Base name suffix option name. So I don't know if it will take command. It will. Let's see. If I do base name. Okay, so it does not take a pipe. Fine. So let's do it this way. Take this path, do this here. Okay, so basically what this base name did is it stripped off the path and gave me just the name. This is the default usage. Okay, so name suffix, and there are multiple options here by which you can see. Now base name Unix bin sort, it gives me the last one. Okay, you can give the suffix here .h, that will give me the studio.h, that the only the name will be given here. Okay, so I mean, like, so this is a Unix utility which is useful in some cases, like for example, if you want to manipulate paths of files, okay, then you can use base name. So then what did I do after basically after I do base name, so my I will get the file, just the name of the file, because I want to do some operation with it. So here what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do a copy. So I am for each x in that directory, I'm copying x, I'm giving it to the output directory, but I also am adding a prefix. Okay, the prefix here is copy. See line number 4, the prefix is a string called copy, and then it is $y. $y is the name of the file. So basically, if your x contains the full path, it will strip off the name and it will make a copy of that name, and it will strip off the path. It will put the name into a variable and then perform the copy command. So this copy command is moving x from the input directory, and it will prefix it with the prefix string. Here it is copy, and then move it to the destination directory and copy it to the destination directory. Okay, and it will just do this for all the files. That's fine. I don't want to explain the code. Okay, you will get it. So now if I just run it, I run it with sh copy.sh. So let's see what is there before that in dir1. I just scattered it out so that I can see dir1 is in dir is dir1. dir1 contains some C code. dir4 is currently empty. Basically, it gave me the output because I have this echo step here. Echo will just echo it out. So I'm getting a message. So it is good for the user to know what is happening. So we are processing this time. And then if I now see dir4, now I've got a copy. Everything is, the name is same as in dir1, but now there is a prefix copy added to it. Fine. So this is one simple application. There are various scenes, sequence, and shuffle and stuff like that, which is there in the assignment. So let us look at another script. Okay, now can you tell me why this particular script, adapt ubm.sh, why is it in green color? This is in green color. Can somebody guess why this is in green color? It is in green color because it is an executable, right? Okay, and it is an because this currently I have colorized my output ls output, so that is why it is coming in color. But in some cases, if you're connecting to some remote terminal or using a terminal emulator which does not use colorization, then you will not see the color. But then you will still be able to make out that it is an executable by looking at the access codes, by the permissions, right? So this X here means it is executable by the user, by the owner, group, and others, right? So this is executable by everybody. And to change permissions, you have to use chmod command. I think you know that by now. So now let's see what is inside adapt UBM. So this is some script which I wrote long ago. So essentially this is, it takes a command line argument, okay. It expects some command line argument, and it gives, if you don't give an argument, it gives you a usage, okay. And it basically expects a list of files. So there are some variables which I've defined. This is some UBM, some path. I mean, so basically it is running some command on some on particular files. So these are some variables, like I said. So while read file. So basically, what is my file? File is this is a while loop, and while read file and done list. So list is what I have here. This is some input list. So this will iterate through every element in that list. Okay, so the list could be a list of files to process. So this basically this while loop this while loop so this while loop processes the files inside the the file represented by list one line at a time. Okay, and so file is a variable of the current line. So there's an echo message which is adapting this particular file, and there are some commands that I've used here, wc dumpdir. Okay, the one command which I've used here is awk. I will tell you how to use it in some other after this particular file. And then head command you must be familiar already. Okay, head is giving you the top portions of the file. So head -1 will give you the top first line. I mean the first line of the file. Okay, so this is getting the top of some file, counting the number of words in it, and then I'm using awk again. And this is the command which I'm going to use finally. Okay, this is some C program which was written. There's a bin program. This is a binary basically. There are some arguments which the program takes, and this is my output file. Okay, so this is how that program was written. It accepts all these arguments, and I'm doing it, processing it via a script. So if I have like 100 files to process, this script will process line by line. Fine. So I don't have these programs with me right now, so I cannot demonstrate it for you. But this is one way to write a while loop in a script. Okay, so I can share this scripts on Moodle. Now we use the command awk. Okay, awk is an amazing utility which can process columns. For example, let me now write echo. Let me write some, let's say some names. Ajay, Arun, no. Okay, so I have got these 3 names. Okay, so now if I want to pick up the middle name, I can pipe it to awk, which is a utility which allows me to process column wise output. So $2, I get Arun. Okay, so $3 of course will give me Anu. $0 will give me the entire line. And you can use awk to do all sorts of things. I mean, I don't want to start explaining how to use awk here. You should actually whole programs can be written with awk. Okay, so you must so you can look up various options in awk, but at least become familiar with what are the minimal features it has. So it is basically used to cut column wise output and select columns from various column wise outputs. Now let me see if I have some here. These are all long files. Okay, Now, for example, let me have just make a copy. Sorry, mistake. So now I'll just make one more copy. A, B, 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 C, 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 C. Okay, so suppose I have that. If I do file 2, I've got this. But now, if suppose I want to pick up the grep, suppose I want to pick up only the B's. So now I'll get the B, and from this now I want to pick up the middle B. I can keep on piping like this. Get the middle B. So awk gives you various options like this, and you can even add numbers and add columns together. There are lots of options. Please have a look at some material online if you want to really use awk. Okay. So for the purpose of this assignment, just understand what is the basic functionality and what are the features which it has. Another okay, so just an example of awk. Yeah, an example of awk in action. Let me just share the screen for a minute. Yeah, okay, sure. So come back here. So now see this file called marks. It's got 3 columns. Now I can let's say I want to find the sum of 2 of the columns, column 1 and 2, let's say. Then so I can write a simple awk script which looks like this. So this essentially I've catted the marks, and then I have looked at the first column, which is represented by $1, and the second column, which is represented by $2. It goes line by line. Okay, so awk processes it line by line. So by default, there is a variable which I have declared called sum, and by default, awk initializes it to 0. And so with this variable sum equal to sum plus 1. So for each line of the file, awk keeps adding the entries of the first column to sum, the variable sum, and keeps adding the entries of the second column to sum2. And then there is this end statement in awk by which you can print the end. So now I've done print in the end, print sum plus sum2, which will give me this 198, which is essentially 12 plus 13 plus 23 plus 1 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 34 plus 34 plus 67, which gives you 198. So if you want to initialize something in the beginning and then do something to each of the columns and do something in the end. So awk is extremely flexible. You can write all sorts of programs with awk, and everything, as long as your input are in text files, structured text files where the text is in columns, you can use awk to do a lot of manipulation. You can manipulate strings, you can manipulate numbers, etc. Okay. Another utility is let's see again, file 2 is sed. Okay, so there is a stream editor. So now let's say I have suppose in the file 2, suppose I want to convert all B's to D's. Okay, so what I say B, I substitute S is for substitution, I substitute B to D. Okay, so now basically sed is a stream editor, SED. Okay, and so now basically what I've done is I've converted the first occurrence of a B to a D. Now if I want to change all the occurrences, I can use the global version. So this does it line by line. Okay. Now, for example, let me now just do this once again. Let me copy this once more. So now I've got two B's. Let's see what will happen. Okay, so I've got file 2. Let me just print file 2. And then now here also, so said processes it line by line. And so now all occurrences of B's have been changed to D's. Okay, so if you want to see examples of SED in action, Google for SED one-liners. Okay, it has got, you'll be amazed at what and all options SED can do. So SED can also do a lot of things. Right, so awk and SED are awesome tools to do processing of text. One more script I wanted you to see. Let's see, there's a rename a script. Okay, let's see the script. So this is .sh. So can you have a look at this script and tell me what it does? So this is basically a script which renames files. Okay. So essentially, what is there? There are some inputs it takes. It takes 3 command line arguments. $1 is a criteria. $2 is a rematch. $3 is a replace. Now, if you see the script, it has got a for loop. The input to the for loop is the criteria. Okay, so whatever is doing an ls on the criteria. So if criteria is, let's say, wave files, WAV files, then it will do ls star dot wave. Ls, it is doing ls star. So this is a regular expression, which means the star means any character, any number of times. So star, wherever the criteria comes, those files get selected and that gets processed one by one. So this is the first one. It goes into the variable I is a variable. This is the first one. I'm calling it src, which is the source. I'm printing the criteria as a message. And then I'm using sed here, sed minus e. What is sed minus e? I forget. E is a script. Okay, that means that is the commands follow sed. Okay, that is a command which follows sed. Add the script to the commands to be executed. It's okay. So it just says that execute this script, basically. Execute this command. So echo sed. So what is happening? Yes, S is for substitution. You're substituting rematch and with replace. Okay, so basically rematch is one of the inputs which you have. That is replaced with what is to be replaced. So now you will do that, and then now this is again, we have put an echo here, so this just prints the text out so that it is easier to visualize. Now here is the real thing which is happening. So then you have done this, then we have done it on particularly on $I. Okay, you want that particular $I, and the output of that I put it into target, and then I'm echoing source and target, and then I'm done. So let's see what it does. So we've got some idea what it does. It is doing some replacement because it's using sed, and it is doing some matching of expression, and whatever is there, it is whenever the expression is matching, it is getting replaced, and a new variable target is getting stored into the variable target. And then if you want to copy it or something here, rather than echo, you can use copy. Okay, so right now I just want to demonstrate. So this is not there. So it basically takes 3 arguments. It's probably not a very great script because the previous script, if I did not give the correct argument, it gave me the usage saying that no, this is not the way to use the script. But this is not giving me that warning. Okay, so just remember that. It's a good idea to always give a usage message. So let me see what is here in this file. There are some PNG images. Fine. So let me do sh script.sh. There's a criteria. So let's say I want to process all PNG pictures, and I want to replace something. So I want what is it that I want to replace? I want to replace pick with, let's say, pick. Okay. Now essentially what this is doing is it is just let me if I let's cat the script first and then let's run it. So essentially what is happening is it is just bringing the criteria. This is in the loop, so it comes if there are how many files are there? I think there are 3 PNG files, so this comes 3 times. The loop runs 3 times, and I'm just echoing the command here. Okay, essentially what it is doing is doing SZ minus E. So substitute pick with pick, a small pick with large pick. And now the target has been made, and then I'm echoing source and target. So this is the source, and this is the target. So pick 1 has become capital pick 1, right? So this is what the loop is doing. So this is a simple example of some shell scripts in action. There are a lot of other Unix commands and Unix tools, right? For example, one very useful command is uname, which will give you the details about the currently running Linux kernel. Another command is whoami, tells you who is the currently logged in user. Now W also gives you the who are the currently logged in users. For example, in a server which has got a lot of users, you can see the list of users logged in. This is my own desktop, so only currently I'm logged in. Let me see what is there in this loop. For loop list. Since we've already done sequence and lists, you might know this already. So this is a for loop, and this is another way to use the for loop for x in a b c d. So this will iterate a b c d. Okay, and now I've just echoed it out, so you can see what this script does. Okay, so it just prints out a dot text, and it makes it into a underscore 1 dot text. So let me just cat it out and see so that we can be exactly sure what is happening. So essentially what it has done is it has copied x dot text, because a b c d, right? So a dot text, b dot text, so on, and make it into a underscore 1 dot txt. So these are some quick introductions to shell scripts. I mean, like the only way to learn shell script is by writing shell scripts. Now the question is, why do you want to use shell scripts? You can also do it with a Python program. Yes, so that's true. Python also, you can use it also with a Python program. In fact, you can do whatever I showed you here, you can also do it with a C program. Well, okay, C is more difficult than Python. Python is easier to code. So okay, so there is still no reason why you want to use shell script. The only problem is that Python may not be installed in all computers. If there are small computers or some old computer which does not have Python, but then you will not be able to run your program. But almost all Linux computers will have some shell in it. So here we have used the bash shell. The bash is the most commonly used shell in Linux, but there could be other shells. So then the shell scripting language will be different for each shell. So whatever we saw is mostly restricted to bash. So there is no hard and fast rule when you have to use shell script. If you feel you're more comfortable writing Python scripts, go ahead and use Python. But the only advantage with shell script is that you don't require any additional software, because all Unix computers will come with some shell. Okay. So I will upload some more questions. I will append that assignment with some more questions for you to practice. Don't worry at this point about deadlines. Currently, I've given 1 week for that Moodle assignment deadline. But even if you are not able to complete it in 1 week, you please let me know. I can extend it a little bit. The objective is here is so that you have enough time to learn. Okay. Fine. So if there are any questions, you can please add it into the discussion forum. And if you have any trouble, because I don't think we'll be having online classes anymore. I'll be having only these offline lectures. Feel free to communicate with me on email or call me. and also use the Moodle discussion forum to discuss any queries you have. Okay, so upload your assignment to Moodle. There is, I think, 20% marks are there for the lab work. Fine. So if there are no other queries, I will sign off now. Plus, so if there are indeed any queries, please get in touch with me. Okay. Thank you. How do I turn off the recording? Okay, stop recording.